Again, the community at large supported Hov. Hov gets to where he's at because the community supported him.
First of all, the community know about money right now because of Hov.
Stop the cap.
Right, y'all niggas would still be running around picking boogers, wiping them on the camera screen if it wasn't for Hov and B.I.G.
What?
New York was not talking no money until Big and Hov came out.
From a rap perspective.
Yes. So you want to talk about money? He taught you got them chains on. You know platinum because of Hov, nigga.
That doesn't help the community.
It doesn't help the community.
No, what do we say? Hold on.
How that doesn't help the community?
That doesn't help the community.
How to get money?
No.
Y'all niggas wasn't worrying about getting money. Y'all niggas was wearing motherfucking dicky suits.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just walk around with farmer jeans. Niggas ain't teach you how to get fly and go in them board meetings to get that back.
All right, now I fear that we're completely different planes here.
Yo, Hov didn't teach a demographic in the community how to get money and boss up. Answer me that.
How to get fly?
No? How to get money and boss up. Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Unfortunately, hip-hop has lived long enough to see itself become a villain. If a person was to ask me, hey, Reed, what is the goal of hip-hop? What is the message that hip-hop artists are trying to convey? What is hip-hop culture? What would you define it in one sentence? And the easiest way I can describe it is the story of turning nothing into something. Glass Malone likes to define hip-hop, and I kind of grown into this definition. He describes it as street urban culture personified through the arts and elements. And what are the arts and what are the elements? The four main pillars and the four elements of hip-hop is graffiti art, DJing, breaking, and MCing. So when people use this canvas in order to paint the picture that they're usually trying to paint is the story of nothing to something, the underdog story. But the problem is a culture which started out as counterculture or anti-establishment has now become the main culture, has become mainstream, has now become the establishment. The best way I can describe it is if we look at all of the main artists, all of the biggest artists within hip hop, they constantly trying to paint themselves as an underdog, but also they are insanely rich. They also have extreme success and they aren't the underdogs that they like to paint themselves anymore. And the best way I can describe it is this Jay-Z freestyle.
I'm a target. You aim, don't miss that target. No exclusive, they only doing what Apple and Walmart did. You shopping at Amazon or you boycott? You posting on Instagram? That's Meta, boy, stop it. Y'all know Google owns YouTube. You picking and choosing and politicking as usual.
You serious?
They digging deep, but nowadays it's embarrassing. They run out of characters, had to bring back up Cap again. My buddy took a check, I ain't even mad at him. But along with that check, got a sign of non-disparagement. I'm the one they can't control.
Boring.
$500 million back in the community. That's just good math for him. I don't listen to Twitter activists. They type and I laugh at them. There's really no comparison. Y'all check my stats again. I'm bringing folks home to their family. Laws get passed because him. You can like it or not. We don't do no ass kissing. Ex-drug dealer. You might not like the packaging, but my presence is the president. My gift is rapping. Oh, shit.
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
Now, if you ask me, this Jay-Z freestyle felt a lot more flat than the first one that he did at the Roots Picnic because it's just kind of tone deaf. In today's society, the things that Jay-Z stands for, the things that hip-hop have championed for the last few years, money, cars, clothes, and status, it's kind of under the microscope right now. Like, in the light is not looking good. The economy is terrible right now, and people are going through it.
Nigga, we all broke. Ain't nobody got money. I ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. The government ain't got no money. The planet ain't got no money. We all broke. You can't tell me that everything's just gotta keep raising and raising and raising. Where's all the money going? Nobody's getting paid more. Nobody's making more money. Them niggas is just driving bigger boats, eating fatter pigs. We gotta eat these niggas. There's no way one of them rich niggas don't taste like a Wagyu A5 steak. We can have them. Put them over some hickory coals. Saute them niggas. We can have a hibachi. Let's have a rich bachi.
Now that may be a joke, but eat the rich doesn't come from people wanting to cannibalize, right? People are not cannibals. People are not evil. Most people just want to feed their family and be able to go on a simple vacation every once in a while and not have to stress about where their next meal is going to come from. So eat the rich isn't like, oh, we want to go mobbing, but greed is on the rise.
You got every American struggling. Everybody working 9 jobs to make nothing an hour. Every city now has 5 companies that don't want to pay nobody a damn. This used to be the land of opportunity. Now it's the land of greed. And don't tell me that that's just American opportunity. That's just what it is. Oh, that's just capitalism and free market. No, it's greed. It's unfettered greed.
And Jay-Z specifically, because there are other artists and we're going to talk about them. And make sure before we get really into it, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a video. Donate to the Cash App. I would appreciate that. Also, the best way to support the channel is to become a member. Link is in the description, or you can hit that join button that you see right there. Come on, man, join the Good Readers Club. We got good stuff over there. But listen, Jay-Z is the best way to describe this. Jay-Z does his thing, and it's kind of like a lot of whataboutism. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a king of whataboutism because I believe in America, unfortunately, black folk get a little bit, we get a little bit more crucified than everybody else, especially by the media and our own people. We kind of, we kind of get beat up on in the criminal justice system. Look, he got this. Why does black person get this? Unfortunately, that's just something that we do in America that isn't fair, and I don't think it's right, but we have to because it is the truth. I do something, you're gonna crucify me way more than if that person does something. That's just the way it is. So I'm not beating up Jay for the whataboutism. It just is tone deaf because Jay-Z ain't no activist.
What about the Target
deal? Lawyer shut down. Don't talk to me about that. I don't give a fuck about that activism shit, my nigga. Like,
Jay-Z is a rapper. And for me, I personally am not the biggest fangirl of Jay-Z like everybody else, right? Like, I get it. I love it for hip hop. When you really start breaking down what Jay-Z has trying to change himself into, it doesn't really work. It's like having your cake and eat it too, right? I hate the whole, the Rock Nation manic thing that I think a lot of people are suffering from right now, like Nicki Minaj and academics, right? Oh, Rock Nation is trying to get me, Tory Lanez. Rock Nation, you will crumble. I don't think Rock Nation is the big boogeyman, but I do feel as though Rock Nation is the establishment. So to take it off Jay-Z, I think he's going to get this critique forever in his life. Him and his wife, they like to position themselves as these Maya Angelou, Nikki Giovanni, like they try to position themselves as like James Baldwin, right? Fred Hampton. They try to position themselves as these Black Panther type figures when most of the time it's about getting money. More money, more cash, more. Hip hop has gotten really old. Hip hop is old. Hip hop is successful. Hip hop is it. And so when you listen at what Bleak is saying, it's like none of this stuff is good, right? A lot of the money, cars, hoes, like you really listen to it, that's not good.
Why would the hoe say, "Hey, I don't have"?
He don't have to. He don't owe y'all niggas no explanation, my nigga.
That's where we split ways.
Well, that's gonna forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We gotta tell her we selling drugs, bitch. That's why.
No, I don't.
The fuck?
I don't
Come on, man.
That clip is so illuminating because he's sitting there talking to Mouse. Shout out to Mouse. And he says to Mouse, he goes, you talking about potential ties between Jay-Z and Target. You sound like someone who's bothering us when we're trying to make our money. Mouse is going, wait a minute now. I thought that we were of the same community. The woman in the window also thinks that we're in the same community because remember, the woman in the window knows you. You out there doing your thing, but she sees you as Cynthia's son. She sees you as Janice's boy. She been knowing you. So she thinks that if you're making noise when she's trying to sleep because she got to get up and go to work, or just because you're disturbing her peace, she thinks she can talk to you because she thinks you guys are of the same community. And you go, shut the fuck up. You're not. Cool. I have no problem with that. Cool. So now we compete because there's going to be competition with people who say this community is for selling drugs. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be competition with people who say this community is so that we can sleep in peace.
And I think where our society is at right now is they're really questioning rich people. And hip hop specifically is in this weird phase where it's like, is it about money, cars, and clothes, and hoes, and girls, or is it about fight the power? Is it about fighting the establishment? What is it about?
We still don't nothing move but the money.
You pimpin', turn it up, see the money ain't a thing.
You ain't talking money, you must be talking a different language.
Gorilla.
And I think there's a split within the black community, right? You got the bourgeoisie blacks that I think Jay-Z and Beyonce kind of represent, to where they feel as though the way that black people get empowerment, right? Killer Mikes of the world, finances is going to bring us out of systematic racism and systematic hate, right? That's the only way we can kind of be equal with the white man, is by ownership and owning things and building things. In a way, I could agree, but the way it's been gone about isn't right? Like having a Rolex, that's a European brand. You know what I mean? Like when I say, yo, Lupe Fiasco was the first rapper to tell us about Goyard bag before everybody. Yeah, he's so dope. And it's like, well, really think about that. That's a European brand that's extremely expensive that, most of these European companies don't want us in their stores or wearing their shit. So why is that seen as like this thing, right? But when the people have nothing, when the people come from nothing and they get to something, that is seen as like a status symbol. And so that's how, white America tricks us into playing their game. It's like the certain black people be cool with a slave master if he was rich and black, right? And they say the same thing for a lot of white liberals. Like, white liberals will be cool with slavery as long as the slave master was trans. And that's kind of like that idea that Jay-Z's always putting down. Like, you like the white folk as slave master, why I can't be your slave master? That's kind of like the message that he gets. I think that like that's Jay-Z's problem. It's like the whataboutism,
selective,
but look,
rage.
But look, no, not
everybody album is available vinyl.
So why would it, trying to push Cap down while pushing himself up, right? Trying to make himself be like this activist when it's like, dog, you're a rapper, bro. And like, you've never given me that. Like, I've never gotten a Jay-Z song where I was like, bro, that man care about. Like, I've never gotten that from him. I've never gotten like a tear jerker from him. He does little things here and there. I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died. Real niggas just multiply, right? Like, he got stuff that I'm like, good, but it's like overall, like, Jay-Z, you ain't, you know what I mean? Like, let's go to a different artist like Eminem, because I feel as though Eminem gave me that feeling, right? Eminem has probably been through more stuff than a lot of black folk. He probably has an underdog story like no else. And Eminem was an underdog at one point, but he lived long enough to see himself become the white man he used to claim to hate. That's just what it is. Everybody's always asking, yo, what happened with Eminem? Why his music just don't hit the same? And it's because he became rich and famous. He became Elvis of hip hop.
Embarrassed, the parents still listen to Elvis.
He never wanted to be that, and he always goes against it, but then he falls right into it, right? He became a caricature of himself. Eminem became the white man he hated. They started giving him awards just cuz. Like, I feel as though Eminem has not had a good album since his comeback. All the way up from Recovery to now, there has not been one full-length Eminem project that will give me the feeling of a Slim Shady LP or a Marshall Mathers LP, right? He's been trying to recreate that, but he can't because he's not the underdog anymore. He's not counterculture or anti-establishment. He is the establishment. Eminem is one of the biggest rappers ever. He could release a mediocre album, he going #1, and his fans is going to stand by him because he could lyrically miracle, but there's no feeling there anymore. The Way I Am Eminem is long gone because they're not boycotting him no more. They used to boycott Eminem. To be real, at one point Eminem was the underdog. He was a white man in hip hop, so that automatically made him the underdog. But one could say that also made him skip the line because he is white, and so he's going to get an audience that most black people ain't going to get. There's always this, yo, Eminem is just this black person, but he's white, right? There's always that. And not to take away from the amazingness of Eminem, I'm just laying down a talking point. Like, Eminem, he can't give you the same feeling of what he was when he was closer to the 8 Mile. He was closer to 8 Mile. The grittiness was there. The rawness was there, right? He was able to say nigga. Now Eminem say the N-word, you're gonna be like, whoa, bro, right? Like, back then it wasn't acceptable, but it was like, I understand the whole overall aesthetic of Eminem. You understood. But now it's like, nah, you a rich white man. It doesn't translate. It doesn't correlate anymore. And that's what Drake suffers from. All these guys want you to think that they're the underdog when, bro, they're rich as hell. They press one button and they're going platinum. They're going #1. They're not the underdogs anymore. And they always want to be the underdog when it's beneficial for them, but then want to flex when it's beneficial for them. No amount of Hondas J. Cole's going to drive in is going to stop the fact that he's J. Cole. That's not going to stop. Like, same thing with Andre 3000. No matter what you do, Andre, you're always going to be Andre 3000. Like, you could walk around forever with a flute. People are going to come up to you and want to take a picture. You've laid down an amazing foundation for the people, right? And so hip hop has lived long enough to see itself become a villain.
Niggas got big nuts like me, it's going to get way harder. But shit, if niggas got little nuts, it's gonna start getting back to a different type of rap. You know what I'm saying? Partying and fucking and all of that type of shit, because that's what we talk about when they don't let us talk about what we really want to talk about.
Fight the power, keep your head up. Is that the foundation of hip hop, or is it money, cars, hoes? So hip hop is really growing old enough to really look at itself. This is the reason why Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar albums. He put a mirror to the culture, and the culture rejected it because they didn't like what they see. Because if we really put a mirror to our culture, what are we looking at? Like, literally look at Jay-Z and what he's done, right? And this is why I love Tupac, because Tupac was right about all of this, right? When Tupac passed away, right? Tupac, even though I think his message and who he was got a little bit confused, because, I mean, what does a revolutionary from the Shakur family become in the late 90s? What do you become? You become a gangster.
I'm saying, my peoples, my folks, they in penitentiaries for bank robberies and killing cops, and you know what I'm saying? That's my family tree. It ain't no stretch for me to be talking the shit that I be talking. And they didn't do it screaming, you know, let's go move the white. They were screaming African liberation, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about straight motherfucking G's. But now they in jail now, you know, and then nobody gave a fuck. And it's motherfuckers out here with beads and all that drama that they be wearing, and my folks is in the pen over that shit. So I takes that shit like, fuck it. I'm not that type of nigga that's gonna be like, ramba, you know, I live right here, and it's hard, right motherfucking here. I help y'all as soon as I get there, but while I'm right here, I'm speaking the language that we speak, I'm dressing in the clothes that we dress in, and I'm fighting the battle that we got to fight.
Being gangster used to be anti-establishment. Now that's the armor that everybody puts on in order to sell you a record, even if they don't live that life. Tupac talked about this, right? No matter what you say, there was always a message in Tupac's music. There was always a goal in Tupac's music. He was right about Diddy, right? He was right about a lot of things. And now look at where hip hop is at. The early 2000s is where hip hop got its most competitive, but because it got its most competitive and it started focusing on sales too much, it started to not be about people. It started to not be about the culture. It started to be about money, cars, hoes, clothes, who could sell the most. I just saw Quavo, right? He had a purse, a Hermes purse. Like, for one, why do you have a Hermes purse, right? Hermes, whatever it is. Why do you have a Hermes purse? Why? But it costs $1 billion gajillion. Chrome heart pants, $200,000 for chrome heart pants.
Chrome heart jeans. These are Los Angeles. These are 150,000. 20,000. Another 20,000. 30,000. 50,000.
And this is the flex now. This is the flex. And this is kind of where Black America is at right now. Are we happy because we're getting money like the white people? Are we cool with everything that's going on in the world as long as we can get a slice of the pie? So this brings me to the second half of this hip hop is a villain argument, where white Americana is back. White Americana culture is back.
Just look at you, hallelujah. I'm loving you, hallelujah.
Then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with.
There's nothing I can do.
Country music, line dancing, bald eagles, Broncos, you know, with this MAGA administration and the war on woke and the war on DEI, right? Country America is hot again. And so when you see people like Chanel West Coast or...
You know, I will always love hip hop. It's my heart and soul. Like I said, I was a hip hop dancer since I was 7. My dad was a hip hop DJ. I love it, but I do feel like the genre has gotten into a little bit of like a darker space. Like it's a lot of just like extra ratchetness.
If you drunk and acting foolish, then this be the music. That shit to make you lose it. Get thrown out like you stupid.
Stop the cap.
When I was growing up, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, I mean, there were Eve, very classy women rappers. It wasn't so ratchet. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the music that inspired me to rap.
We feeling right off the Grey Goose. Going to the crowd like I'm Babe Ruth.
Stop the cap.
I think raps went in a little bit of a different direction, and I just wanted to make music that's a little bit more positive.
Getting money, that's my passion. Loaded like I'm blasting. You can't get it, why you asking?
Stop it. Get some help.
I do feel like rap is influencing kids the wrong way. I just feel like it's not the best influence for this next generation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've noticed that there's a big difference in kind of country music where it's a lot more family oriented.
You see people like Post Malone. They didn't look for Tribe Called Quest. They didn't look for Public Enemy. They didn't look for J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar. They just looked for what was popular. And usually what is popular is usually not the best when it comes to meaning and family oriented, right? They're not looking for D1. They're not looking for the depth of hip hop music. They only see hip hop music for what mainstream sees it as.
And don't get me wrong, I like NBA Youngboy. I actually think he's a pretty phenomenal rapper.
Huh?
And so when you got this administration that is moving the way it's moving, and you're seeing these pushbacks on DEI and these war on wokes, right? That affects hip hop as well, because hip hop is the bad guy, right? America always used Black American things as its punching bag. Whenever America doing wrong, the Southern strategy that many of Republican presidents have adopted, and even sometimes the Democrats adopted it. I call it respectability politics, right? It don't even have to be a Southern strategy no more, because Stephen A. Smith is using it. Stephen A. Smith is from Queens, saying it. I don't even call it the Southern strategy no more. I just call it respectability politics. And respectability politics is on the rise. You got people on one side of hip hop only focusing on solving crimes from gang members in Compton, right? You got people that's their focus, right? They're not looking at hip hop for its depth and looking at hip hop, you know, in the nuances of black culture and gang culture and hip hop. No, they just look at it for the negative things.
Gangs ain't nothing but tribes, you know, and a nigga cannot survive out here by himself. So all I say is that the gangs be all black, you know, and be down for all black. But shit, you can't survive out here by yourself. The police ain't nothing but a gang. The National Guard is a gang. The Army is a gang. We learn all our gang shit from government. You know what I'm saying? We learn all this gun shit from the government. You know, somebody get a gun, the gov get a bigger gun.
And as America is using black people as a punching bag, as it always do when things go wrong, rich, wealthy, more than likely white men have been using black America, Hispanic, immigrants, and minorities. They've always used them as, you know, hey, look at what they're doing while they steal your money over here. And so as that is very prevalent right now, hip hop is going to continue to be demonized, right? All road leads to Diddy and Jay-Z and all of this, you know, negativity, even though there's a list that they don't want to put out that our president more than likely is on. They said he referenced in there more than Harry Potter was referenced in the Harry Potter book. Even though that's the thing, the problem is Jay-Z, Rock Nation.
Rock Nation, you will crumble.
The corruption is gang members in Compton. We're not going to look up how guns and drugs end up in these neighborhoods. Nah, we're not going to look at the nuances behind it. We're going to blame niggas. And as hip hop is a black American art form, black Americans get the blame when times get rough, right? It's, oh, they the ones that's taking your money. When we know that rich, wealthy white men more than likely are the ones in your pockets. They're using the government for their own benefit. I don't think we have capitalism anymore. I don't think we've ever had capitalism. I think we've had corruption or we've had socialism for the rich, especially once we went off that gold standard in the 70s, especially when the printing press just was like, hey, let's just print shit and we ain't backed by nothing. Because black Americans always get the blame. Our music and our culture is going to be villainized. So that's another part of this, right? Don't get me wrong. The first half of this video, I was talking mostly about like what we have done, because that's what I do a lot of times. I can't control what wealthy white America does. I'm not MAGA. I don't do MAGA. I don't deal with people that do MAGA, right? I have a little bit more education than the average Democratic voter or the average Republican voter, right? So I don't fall into praising politicians. Never was. Me and my wife has actually been together before. We've been together during the Obama administration, and I was very critical of the Obama administration because I know what government been doing for the last couple of years. Very dark when you start looking underneath what America has done to put itself in this position. Oftentimes when things start going bad, because those things work for rich people, the negative things that we're seeing, the things in Gaza, what Trump said he wanted to do once Gaza is cleared, right? Once Gaza is ethnically cleansed, what is he going to do? They're going to put condominiums there. They did it to Harlem. They're going to do it to Detroit. They're going to do it to Chicago. They're going to do it to all our communities in which we inhabit. They blow it up in a certain type of way, and then they come in and build $1 million condos.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
We've seen this play throughout history. Because these things never work and they're always in the benefit of rich people, they blame blacks. They blame immigrants for the problems that they caused. They stealing your pension. They stealing your money, right? They're the ones that are changing the rules so SpaceX could lose half of its value the next day. That's what we doing, right? And so black always gets blamed. There is this push for white Americana. Kim Kardashian just took a picture, right? And I always say this. If you want to know what America is trying to push, look at what the Kardashians is doing. They've never found a trend or wave they couldn't ride. That joke could go many different ways, but I'm gonna be respectful. They've never not found a wave they couldn't ride, and right now the wave that everybody is riding is line dancing, country, white traditional family values. That's where it's at. Respectability politics is here, and this happens throughout history, right? The church always finds a way to position itself as the moral authority. When you start looking at the church, you know why people ain't going to church as much anymore.
No, I do not, and don't you ever say I did.
Church membership is going down in the last years because they got a piece of the pie as well, and they are part of the corruption, and they're part of keeping the game going as well. Right now in America, as country music is popular again, Big X the Plug, Jelly Roll, Post Malone on his way back over. I got a video talking about that pretty soon, right? Because there's always this hip hop is dying, hip hop is this, always focusing on our culture, hyper fixating on our culture, and not looking at the nuance of it and blaming hip hop for everything. This has been a thing. Fox News has said it. You know, everybody, it's been a thing since hip hop inception. They've been trying to blame the ills of the ghettos of America on hip hop, as if these issues were not here before hip hop. This is how hip hop has become the villain in this day and age and time and where we're at. I just made a tweet about the Blade movie because there's no Blade movie. There were 3 successful Blade movies, right? 1 and 2 were really good. 3 it's a little funny, but there were 3 successful Blade movies. If I'm not mistaken, there were 2 unsuccessful Ghost Rider movies. Ghost Rider is getting pushed and Blade is getting pushed down because the racial undertones of Blade, black, half vampire, half human, right? If you watch the first Blade movie, you can see the racial undertones that are there. If you even read the Blade comics, you can see the racial undertones there. Shout out to Marvel, bro. Everybody was talking about woke now. Oh, this is woke, that is woke. But yo, I could show you some Black Panther comic books with the Ku Klux Klan on it. I could show you Nazis on Captain America comic books, right? It's just funny. Like, you can just tell how much ignorance is out there today. People just want to be upset. People just want to find something to blame, and that's usually us. So it makes sense to me that a IP that is a white boy, biker boy, Americano, right? Biker boy with bald eagles. I can see how that gets pushed to the forefront, even though the last 2 attempts failed, right? The Nicolas Cage version, I think both Nicolas Cage versions failed. He doesn't get any video games, right? There should have been a Blade video game years ago. Ghost Rider just doesn't work as an IP. I don't think this next version is going to work either, but I can see within this MAGA world that we live in, black Blade get pushed to the side and white Americano, bad boy, biker boy gets pushed to the forefront. And so it's everywhere, right? The war on DEI, the war on woke, the war on black, that this administration loves to do quietly. I'm not a fool, bro. I know what the Confederate is. I live in the land of the Confederate. And even though I'm in an area that has found a way to cut it out, it's still very prevalent around me. Robert E. Lee Road or whatever, right? I know it's cool again. This administration has slave catchers running outside. You get what I'm saying? ICE running outside, right? This all plays into it. The first half of this, I wanted to showcase how, like, in this time, I could see how even certain people that love hip hop could turn against it because sometimes it's very tone deaf, right? Snoop Dogg. I made a video about Snoop Dogg. This man will put his name on anything for a check. In a certain light, that looks wrong, the way he's doing Tupac. AI coming into the music industry. People being cool with AI. Timbaland using Sonos, where they're stealing people's shit in order to train their AI. This is where we're at in society right now. In hip hop, because I said this before, they love to push their shit on us first. You're going to see way more black artists being replicated through AI than you would see a country music artist, than you would see a pop star, right? They've tried this thing, right? They've been stealing our sauce and our music forever. So technically, black folk always been the AI. We created rock and roll. King of rock and roll, Elvis, in their mind, his artificial intelligence was blackness, from the dance moves to the music. That's what they always been trying to do. So you're going to see these things come through hip hop first. America always pushes his bullshit on us first. It's always how it's been. The war on drugs at first, crack, heroin, and all these different negative things in the community. They saw how it worked, see how they demonized us. And then when this opioid epidemic came, right, the tester was the crack. And the big shabammy and the big shawammy is the opioid epidemic. And so what we see here and what we see prevalent in America is when some shit is going to get pushed, it's going to come through black America first. And so when you look at a lot of these guys like Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, who, you know, Jay-Z, his business practices is that of a wealthy white man. That's why I think he a good businessman.
I've been saying Jay-Z's the most powerful man in the world, and if he said more, he can make all of our lives better. If Jay-Z came out and said, yo, I'm tired of how Lucian is doing these black artists, doing better. But you know why he can't say that? Because he's a businessman also. So to me, Jay-Z has put capital over culture. And by the way, I famously say I've gotten rich because of Jay-Z. His teachers got me here. Jay-Z is a businessman. He plays for himself.
If you gonna play that game, don't pussyfoot. Don't try to be caring and loving. Nah, you gonna play that man game. You gonna go over there and do it the best you can. We're seeing hip hop having to being questioned like, hold on, time out. What is this thing about?
I think we poisoning ourselves, yo. It just goes back to the hood mentality to me.
Yeah.
Like, even when Rick Ross came up here, he was talking so anti to the labs. It's like, yo, dog, if you could go get the same ring, or let's say a bracelet or a chain that might cost you $300,000. If you can go get the labs for $30,000 and invest the $270, like, that just makes sense to my brain.
What Ross? Is lab the one where, like, it's people mining, like Congo?
No, that's natural. That's natural.
Okay, so this is done ethically, correct?
Yeah, the ethical version of
the
real diamond. Same composition, though.
So what's the issue with that?
Because it's not naturally mined. It's just because it has another name. That's honestly what the issue is.
Because the 13-year-old is not digging it up.
Somebody get their arm chopped off.
No. Also, what Ross was trying, his reasoning was, which diamonds themselves don't really hold the value, but he was saying, he was talking in terms of what it's going to be worth later on. Because he was like, he said value. He kept speaking to value.
He did, and which makes no sense to me.
I know it
Again,
don't.
Because under the same scenario,
diamonds fuck up your value.
$300K over there, I spent 30. The 270 is my value that I can go invest at 10%, 12%, whatever the fucking percent. So my value is coming back to me year after year.
I'm keeping the fucking money.
That when I go sell this fucking chain, I might get 300 back, 350 back. You getting lucky if you get 1-to-1 money.
You're not getting 1-to-1.
And you're not getting
1-to-1.
So what value are we talking? Like, yo, that's just some of the shit to me that
that's
we need to change in our minds because it's a divide and conquer shit. Like, oh, you got on Labs, I got on mine, Diamond. It's dumb to me.
That's where we're at in society. I think that's where everybody's at in general. I like to look through life through the lens of hip hop. Shout out to Justin Hunt. Shout out to the company, man. I think the world is questioning itself. I think we're all realizing, yo, what? Are we the villain, right? Like America is realizing, like, in pursuit of excess, right? Because we got enough. I be looking at people complaining a lot, and I'm like, bro, you got more than you need. You got more than me, and I'm straight. I think where we're at in society is we trying to figure out what this thing about. Is it about getting rich and screwing all over your friends? That was the thing for a long time. You want to be like Trump? Gimme. Push.
Such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is.
That was in 1992 he was saying that. And this is still prevalent to this day with the rise of social media. So what are we about? What is hip hop about? Is it about gang banging, shooting and sliding, spinning on your op? Or is it about buying up the block and not giving your brothers a piece? I think that hip hop artists, the new and up and coming, the next generation, they got to dig really deep and look at what's going on right now to see where we go forward. But hip hop has definitely lived long enough to see itself become a villain. And in this white America MAGA movement that's been popping off with everybody trying to do respectability politics and acting like they Jesus and act like they God, knowing they be sneaking and geeking and getting drunk and doing whatever they be doing. He who cast the first stone, every accusation is a confession. Everything they throwing on you is what they probably do behind closed doors. So in this respectability politics, Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark, all these race wars, all these low-key microaggressive race wars, Twitter, Elon Musk, instead of addressing the bullshit over there, they gonna point their fingers to hip hop and black culture. Right now, hip hop is in a tough spot, and the next few years is gonna be really important. Hip hop never gonna die. Hip hop is in everything, right? Everybody, country music and pop music, everybody has still in a little sauce from hip hop. So it's always going to be alive, but we really got to start asking some tough questions. That's my spiel for today. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. Comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I release a video. Donate to the Cash App, link down in the description, or you can just type that in right there to your Cash App. Send me a little something. Appreciate it. The best way to support the channel is to become a member. The link is in the description. Join the Good Readers Club today, and conversation continues with you. Let me know how you feel. Can you see what I'm putting down? Hip hop has become the villain. Do Jay-Z got to answer some questions? Kaepernick thing aside, Jay-Z got to answer some questions. Does the culture have to answer some questions? Do we need a state of the culture to really address what hip hop is about? Is it Uchi Wally or is it If I'll Rule the World? Which one is it? You let me know in the comment section. Reedmysole out. Peace.